What are 10 Pokemon that you believe deserve brand new Mega Evolutions in Pokemon ZA? Well, let's start my personal picks with the obvious one, Flygon. We all thought we were going to get it back in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, but no. Now it's an ongoing meme with the community that even the game directors themselves have commented on. So it's the perfect time for some Flygon redemption. Now, for the specifics of what it should look like, more spikes. Duh. No, just kidding. I'm kind of over the whole spikes thing for Megas, so let's give it some extra like desert vibes. Maybe look like it's from Dune or something. I don't know. Let's just go all out there and throw in some purple. For some reason that's calling to me. I think purple and Flygon would kind of mix together, give it a flowing Dune scarf, anything like that. Just really double down on the desert vibes. I say go for it. Let's move on to some more needed redemption and talk about the Kalos starters with their Megas. Sure, we're not sure who the actual starters of Pokemon Legends ZA are going to be, but either way, it's fun to revisit these Pokemon regardless. Let's start with the world's favorite Pokemon of all things, Greninja. Now, my go-to thought was a ninja, samurai, ronin type of Mega Evolution, but then I remembered that this guy literally just existed last Legends game, so let's do a 180 on that concept and talk about a frog sage. Something like Naruto or Jiraiya frogs, and then also like Zephos and Cyclos from Wind Waker, really just kind of the sage-like wisdom of an ancient frog. Next up, Delphox. Give her a big hat, like massive witch hat. That's really all I want to see. Maybe like a bigger fire staff as well, but really I want to see a comically large witch hat. That's all I want to see for Delphox, and then it'll be a 10 out of 10 design. Next up, Chestnut. Just make him Reinhardt. Like, even go as far as to give him a giant grass hammer. It'd be sick. Grass hammer is already a move. Why not just double down, give him a hammer? If we decide to go for a massive giant sword, that's also sick, but after seeing the Reinhardt skin that's so perfect for Chestnut to evolve into, go all out, give him a hammer. I say we go for it. Now let's start on the Gen 6 train and discuss Pyroar. This dude is so overlooked in Generation 6 that I think it's a perfect time to redeem him with a Mega Evolution, and the design basically writes itself. A winged lion, like literally you can just draw a wing on there and we're set. You know, Aspen, majestic Narnia lion vibes really go into it with the mythology, with the winged lion thing. We could do a different direction and go with like a chimera lion creature thing. That would be crazy, but I don't really get those vibes from Pyroar, so that'd be a pretty interesting twist on the Pokemon, so we could go for that, but I think a winged lion is right there and so obvious to go for. One last Generation 6 Pokemon to discuss is going to be Pangoro, a big fan favorite that I just want to see more in tune with his Zen side. Take a look at this World of Warcraft concept art. Do I know anything about World of Warcraft? Absolutely not, but I like this vibe a lot, and I think this is the kind of style we should go for a Mega Evolution for Pangoro, especially a bamboo staff, a bamboo bow staff kind of thing. That would be so cool, and I really want to see it for Pangoro. Now let's jump back a generation to the remix we are not seeing quite yet and discuss some Gen 5 Pokemon. First off, Volcarona, one of my absolute favorite Pokemon designs ever, and I say we really push the sun god vibe of this dude and just go the lines of a biblically accurate angel. Give him some crazy amount of eyeballs and wings and make him kind of terrifyingly beautiful. I think that would be so perfect for Volcarona. Now, I don't really think Pokemon has ever really dipped their toes into Christianity lore for good reason. I mean, that stuff was really controversial when the games first came out over here in the West, so it'd be risky to do this, but I think it would be so perfect that I say we just go for it. Another Gen 5 favorite of mine is Haxorus. The only idea that came to my head for a Mega is a giant axe tail, like just put an axe on its tail, so that would be cool, and that design thought process led me to the gargoyles from Dark Souls, and maybe we just mix these designs, turn Haxorus into a gargoyle beast with these wings and again, a giant axe tail. I think that'd be so cool, so I think there's a lot of potential here. Do I know the exact execution? No. If we just want to give him more spikes, we give him more spikes. What do I know? Now let's jump ahead into some Pokemon that were created after Generation 6 and the whole Mega thing wore off, and let's start with Mimikyu. Mimikyu may be the best designed Pokemon of all time. Like, the concept and execution is so perfectly executed that I'm nervous to touch its design like at all. But if we can get a natural, new, well-executed concept of an evolution for Mimikyu, then that would be incredible. Naturally, the mind goes to actually revealing what's underneath the cloth of the Mimikyu, but that's also sort of what makes Mimikyu so interesting, is that we literally aren't supposed to see what's under there ever. So revealing that true form might spoil some of the fun of Mimikyu itself. So I thought of something like a Mega Banette kind of vibe, where it's like a bigger scarecrow, bigger doll sort of thing, but that may be too similar to Mega Banette, which actually exists. So I definitely want to see some opinions about Mega Mimikyu, if it should even be done at all, but I think there's so much potential there. If a really good designer handles this Pokemon, then I think it could be awesome. Next up, Generation 7. Let's talk about Falinks, one of my absolute favorite Pokemon from Galar overall, and the first thing I thought of when looking up some design ideas for Falinks is Falinks from Dark Souls. Yes, there's a boss literally called Falinks, and it's so perfect. perfect. Just have all these dudes huddle up, make an impenetrable ball with spears and spikes sticking out of it. It would probably be the most heavily defensive Pokemon of all time and just be absolutely terrifying to play in competitive play, but I don't care. I want to see it. I think the idea is so intriguing, and I love Falinks to death. I really want to see something like this. Next up, let's talk about the new kids from Generation 9, and we're probably going to see a lot of Paldea influence in this game, so let's take one or two of these Pokemon and give them some new Megas as well. My first thought here was Tinkaton. Give Tinkaton a gun. I'm kidding, of course, but kind of not. Maybe we go for like a scrap gun kind of vibe, like Kid in One Piece sort of thing, where he takes all the metal and kind of creates a new gun scrap cannon sort of thing. I can see Tinkaton definitely doing that in a Mega Evolution, or we just go straight up with a mech suit for Tinkaton. Something along the vibes. I immediately, again, think of Kid from One Piece. I think that would be so cool. It's kind of terrifying, but the concept is right there. I say we just go for it. Last but not least, let's talk about two more Pokemon, Armarouge and Ceruledge. Obviously, they are the runaway hits from Generation 9, and I think it'd be fun to see even more from them. And of course, we could do Mega Latios and Latias type of vibes, where they're almost indistinguishable from each other, because still to this day, everyone still kind of gets them a little bit more confused. But my idea here is to give Ceruledge a gun sword, and then give Armarouge a gun and a sword. Yes, I know that is super confusing, but let me kind of walk you through it here. Basically, Ceruledge would get Squall's sword from Final Fantasy, give his swords little additional gun barrels, and then we take Armarouge and give him something like Zero from Mega Man. So one of his arms stays a cannon, the other one turns into a laser sword made out of fire. Is this really out there and the idea might be a little bit too insane? Possibly, but I think that these guys would be so fun to see Megas. Whether they're super crazy out there, new concepts for each Pokemon, or if they're kind of aligned with each other, I don't know. But overall, those are my ideas for the new Mega Evolutions that we could see in Pokemon Legends ZA. So let me know your opinions down below. What new Megas do you have ideas for, and do you think these ideas are awful? Let me know. I want to hear it. I can't wait for these games to come out. I can't wait for the speculation and new trailers, everything like that. It's so fun getting a new cycle of Pokemon. So make sure to like and subscribe, leave some comments of your ideas below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.